Welcome to Rough Realities and Revelations.
Hi, hello.
We're into season 2
We're
now.
back. We're back.
We had a slightly longer little break.
Meghan Markle, she got a season 2 of her show.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
I don't know why she would get, why she got first.
But here we are, season 2.
Here we are, yeah, slightly longer than anticipated. We got ill. We didn't want to spread germs between us because, self-employed and all that.
Yeah. I mean, you got ill. I'm quite healthy, but
yeah, it was me. I got ill. But we're all good now. We're all back. Yeah. And I think it was Crufts last week.
Yeah.
So I think we should have some Crufts-inspired chat.
Yeah. Well, we were watching Crufts and poo-pooing all the breeds we'd never have.
We were. I mean, I was physically there.
Yeah.
And looking at them, and then I did watch them when I came home.
Yeah. But I thought it'd be good to pick the ones we would have, just for fun.
Yeah.
So if money, lifestyle, amount of exercise you take, the house you live in was not a consideration, what breed would you have? And pick one from each of the 7 categories.
Okay, right. So I'm going to imagine that I have won the lottery.
Yes.
I don't have to work, and I have no time limits on my time, or no limits on my time. That's what I meant.
Big living room, because some of these dogs, you look at them and you think, what size of living room have these folk got? Because the dogs are massive.
They're quite big. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, right. So shall we start with the gun dog group?
Yeah, because that's going to be the trickiest one for us.
I have to admit, I am not a massive gun dog person.
Yeah.
I have a sprocker. So I'm going to choose breeds that, because what's hard is I've actually got almost one from every group already.
Yeah. By the way, I've got notes for this one, so I will be looking at my notes.
Yeah, I did write stuff down as well because my memory is a bit rubbish. But I am going to try and pick breeds I don't have or haven't had.
Yeah.
But so even though I've got Sprocker and they're in the gun dog group, I have to say they're not what I am drawn to. So I do I struggle.
Yeah. For me, I think the majority of my clients are gun dogs or gun dog crosses.
Yeah.
And I love my clients, but I don't always see them at their best.
No, you do not. No.
I don't see the best elements of their personality.
No, you
don't. I don't see them in the environment that they were bred for.
You do not see them executing their breed needs.
Yes.
And being happy. Yes, you're totally right. So, out of the gun dog category,
right,
what have you chosen?
Right. This is you're going to be a bit ooh with this one.
Okay.
But I've chose the Hungarian wire-haired Vizsla.
That was not what I thought you would have chosen, but here we are.
Yeah. So they are quite different to the Vizsla.
They are very different.
In terms of how they look, but also in terms of their personality.
Yes.
As well.
I do find wire-haired whatevers, because there's a lot of breeds that you have the smooth coat and then you have the wire coat. I find the wire-haireds tend to be a little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
A little bit more jolly, a little bit more goofy.
Yeah.
So I can see why you chose the wire-haired. Yeah.
So they're bigger than the smooth Vizsla. And obviously they have the kind of rough, wiry coat. And that was developed so that they could work in cold conditions, and go into icy water and rough cover and stuff like that. And
what attracted you to what's made you go?
Right, so breeds, with the breed standard that the Kennel Club have for each of the breeds and how they should look and stuff.
Who do you see?
Blue has seen someone.
Blue has seen somebody, I'm so sorry. Blue, it's just somebody enjoying a walk.
I know, how dare they?
I know.
Okay, we done?
No, man.
We done? Good.
No, he's not done. It's not done. When we get to toys, are you going to choose a Chihuahua?
But so for each of the breeds, they come with a blueprint on how that dog should look, what the breed standard is, and that's what they're judged on at Crufts.
Yes.
But also in the breed standard is how their personality should be.
Yeah.
Their demeanour, their countenance, how the ideal for that dog. And the wire Vizsla is affectionate and a good family dog. And actually, I know 2 only
Okay.
2, and that, like, they're brilliant. Like, they're
They are
just
good.
such
They are
laid
nice
back,
dogs.
like,
Yeah.
relaxed dogs, you know, easy to train, like, you know, they're wanting to, like, learn
Yeah.
stuff, good around the house.
Uh-huh.
So that's, of all the gun dogs,
Yep. That's for
that
you.
would be the best one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny, because in your line of work, you're saying obviously you don't see them at their best.
Uh-huh.
My line of work's a little bit the same, and I'm in my head, I'm a bit like, that's maybe you've got like 2 unicorn wire-haired Vizslas.
But actually, I think the smooth coated ones, I think, are a bit more highly strung.
They are definitely more highly strung. They are definitely more highly strung. But no, yes, I do like, I like the aesthetics of a Vizsla.
Really nice.
Yeah.
The beard, the kind of rough coat.
Yeah, nice muscly body. I like dogs with, well, I'm weird. They either have to have a pointy face or a squashed face.
Yeah.
There's no in between with me.
Yeah.
But I do.
And
I
ginger,
like
I do like a ginger.
You do actually, yeah.
Yeah. Men and dogs and cats.
I love it. So yeah, no, I like that. And then what? So within the gun dogs, they all have slightly different roles.
Yes.
So our wire-haired Vizsla is technically hunt, point, retrieve, isn't they?
Yeah. So to make the wire-haired Vizsla, they took the smooth Vizsla and mixed it with a German pointer. So it's like a pointer dog.
So they're more versatile.
But they're versatile. They can
They do a bit of everything. That's what the hunt points do.
Yeah, they can alert to the game, they can dive into the water, you know, to collect the game.
And they can bring it back.
Aye.
So you went for I love that. You've went for a really high energy dog when that's the exact opposite.
I know, but it's fantasy.
It's fantasy,
Or
yeah.
the exact opposite of what? The exact opposite of me, were you going to say?
No, exact opposite of what you like in a dog.
All right.
You don't want no energetic thing. Well,
it would be true. I have no energy. That's true.
You would be a few days into it and be like, oh, well,
too much.
You'd be like, there's a reason this was a fantasy. Well, I've stuck with the ginger theme as well.
Right.
I've went for a Nova Scotia duck toiler.
Oh,
I
Nova
love
Scotia
them.
duck toiling retriever.
Yes, retriever. So
excellent.
they are versatile,
Uh-huh.
but their job is to dive into the water,
Right,
retrieve them, and bring them back. But the reason I like them is, funnily enough, the first time I saw them were at Crufts.
right.
And I actually thought it was a crossbreed because they look like what you would imagine a golden retriever and a border collie would produce.
Yeah.
So they've kind of got the size-wise of a border collie, I would say. Usually, they should be a little bit smaller, not too big. Coatish, longish, like a collie. But they're ginger, and then they have like the white bibs and a bit of white on the nose and everything like that. So in my naivety, I was like, oh, look at these crossbreeds. And then I started seeing more of these crossbreeds that all looked the same. And I was like, hang on, I think this might be an actual breed.
Do you remember you were at Crufts?
Well, I know, but crossbreeds can't go because they might be on doing a display or something. Yeah. But I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing. And I've always sort of hankered after them.
They've got a nice, soft, friendly face as well. They do.
They're really, really nice. They're generally pretty good with people. Most of them are pretty good with other dogs. I see a lot in agility now. So when I'm at agility competitions, and I'm always longingly watching them, because they're very good at agility. They're very smart dogs, very athletic. They're not massively popular. You don't see many of them.
Yeah, we've had one at daycare.
Yeah.
The whole time it's been open, we've had one.
I think during doing my classes, I think over the years, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But I don't...
And probably one of them was that one.
I know, it probably was, yeah. But no, I love them. I think the only drawbacks, what was interesting was as I was looking at breeds, I started to research like an owner would. And it is hard, because I've met quite a lot of toolers. It was hard reading stuff about them and knowing stuff about them, because I thought, no, that doesn't match up. They do suffer. There's quite a few health issues with them, though. Right. That's the sad thing within the breed. You'd have to choose. They have a lot of like spinal issues,
right,
and stuff like that. And they can have neurological issues, which is the reason they are on my fantasy list rather than ever.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would want to actually get one. knowing potentially that's what I could be aiding coming into the world. But I like them anyway.
Good.
I think they're absolutely fantastic. I dare say if one came in to rescue and it was an option, I think I'd find it hard to say no. But yeah, so ginger gun dogs for us.
Ginger gun dogs. Perfect.
Yeah, excellent.
Great.
What group would you like to visit next?
Let's do terrier next.
Oh, I love a terrier.
Yeah.
I love a terrier.
So what? Obviously,
Well,
you've got your Eric.
I've got my Eric and a half a Neville.
Yeah.
Because he's a wee Jack Russell.
Yeah.
So I had to think hard because if I'm honest with you, I think I would have had most of the terrier family.
Yeah.
So in some ways, this one's been harder than the gun dogs because it's more like, oh, I'd have a bit of that, I've had a bit of that. And do you know what? Because we're going with the fantasy theme, and I probably would never miniature bull terrier.
Yeah.
I love our little mini
Love
bull.
them.
I love the
Love
little
them.
triangular faces.
Yeah, their little eggheads.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what I find, so the minis definitely have a completely different personality to a standard bull
Right.
terrier. And I enjoy both.
Yeah.
I really enjoy both. But the minis are so clown-like and they're so goofy and they're just hysterical. They're absolutely hysterical. And
Do you know? Maybe you didn't research this, but
I might not
is
have.
the breed standard the same, just in miniature form?
I didn't look that far.
Right.
I was going to put it on my dog
Okay,
trainer
we'll
head.
circle
going,
back to that.
I
another
know,
time
I
then.
didn't look
Because
that
that would be
far.
interesting to know if they're just like
I think they are.
like a mini version.
Because
of
I'll be honest with you, the other thing, and this is shallow, but they do look like a puppy version of the standard size. So
Yeah.
it's like you've always kind of got them as a puppy. And
Oh, I bet the puppies are so cute.
oh, they're just delicious. I've seen
I've
some as
never seen
proper
a
wee
puppy.
puppies.
Are they born with that head, or do they grow into that
No,
head?
they are born with that head. But they're it's already that shape, but they're kind of grown into it. And I think what is tricky about them is they can be difficult to motivate. People label them stubborn, and that term really does like grind my gears because
Absolutely, but it is an official Kennel Club term
it is, which is annoying.
for the personality, the demeanour, the countenance of the dog. Stubborn is
My interpretation of a dog that is stubborn is that dog is sensible enough to go, is what you're asking me to do worth what you're about to
It's
give
a dog
me?
that knows its own mind as well.
Exactly.
Like,
And I don't think, sometimes I look at the likes of Finn and who's like, oh, I'll do it again, I'll do it again, I'll do it again. And I think to myself, are you actually that intelligent, mate? Because you're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
You're not, there's no massive thought process coming from you.
just doing stuff to get the ham. Like,
Pretty much. And he's just like, oh, just do this again, just do it again.
Yeah.
Whereas when I've had my hounds and my terriers, oh, you see those clogs like running away and I'm going, don't know if I want to do that. Like, I don't know. And I sort of think to myself, you actually have some smarts about you because you are weighing up the pros and cons of. So I think anybody that has a dog that the breed is labelled stubborn, I think you should switch that around in your head.
yeah,
But
definitely.
no, mini English bulls for me.
Yeah.
That's. I'd love to have one of them.
Yeah.
I'd like a little tricolour one because I love a tricolour.
What colours do they all come in?
I think you get the solids. So
Solid, yeah.
You know, you can get whites and there's black and whites, brown and whites. The famous ones with the wee bullseyes.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
reds.
And kind of cow print on the body, like.
You get all of that, but for me, I would absolutely adore tricolour.
Right.
You can get them as solids as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like solid black and stuff. It's not quite as common, but tricolour for me. What about you? I'd be interested to know what terrier.
Well, I forgot, so I'm just going to have to check. Right. Oh, well, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I went for the Jack Russell.
Yes.
The wee Jack Russell.
Yeah.
Like, I always said my next dog was going to be a feisty wee terrier, and in my head, it was a wee Jack Russell.
Well, you got a feisty something.
I got a feisty something. So Jack Russell, they've not been recognised by the Kennel Club for very long. But actually, they can trace their origin back to so the now extinct English White Terrier. Is where like they kind of trace their origins back to.
Yeah. I know, because I think that was quite interesting about, because Jack Russells have been around for so long and they're very recognisable. I don't think many people would see a Jack Russell and not know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think many people appreciated that the Jack Russell Society in general, nobody had actually gone forward to the Kennel Club and went, we'd like this breed recognised.
Yeah.
So technically, as much as if you were getting one from a breeder, they could give you paperwork to show lineage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as having Kennel Club registered papers, because they're not, but they are now.
Yeah, they are now. And quite a lot of works went into that to kind of standardise the breed and come up with the breed standard that everybody was happy with. There's a lot of work goes into being recognised by the Kennel Club.
And I think, and just because we're talking about Jack Russells, I just want to say Anna even, was robbed.
She was robbed.
In the Best in Show.
She was robbed.
Absolutely
in the
robbed.
Robbed. I haven't been as shook since Bimini was robbed in season 2.
That was shocking,
of Drag Race UK.
Bimini should have won that.
But yeah, Anna was robbed.
I could not. That little dog.
She owned that ring.
Regardless of, I have mixed feelings about showing dogs, but she was happy. She was working her loves. She was working
their time will come. The Jack Russell's time will come.
She better come in next year. She was such a beautiful dog. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Back to.
So the coats, they can come in smooth, broken or rough coats.
I would like broken.
Yeah.
I love. And I was about to say, I was going to go on a tangent there. A very small tangent. I love how different breeds call the same thing different things. So, wire-haired Vizsla, your Jack Russell, it could be a broken coat. It's the same. It's wire-haired.
Yeah, it's the same.
Wire-haired, but it gets a different name.
Yeah. No, definitely. The thing about Jack Russells is that they are like a proper working terrier.
Yeah.
They're still used, as working dogs.
Yep.
And the breed standard is that they should easily go to ground.
Which they do.
Yeah, which they do.
which as a pet is a bit problematic at times.
Definitely. And then also, which I love for them, the Kennel Club have said that scars should not be penalised.
Oh, that's good.
When they're being shown.
Because
they are a proper, genuine working terrier.
And we don't mean scars as the owner inflicting scars. What we mean is they've gone down the hole.
Yes.
They've got themselves caught on
something. Got in a scuffle with some wild animal.
Managed to damage themselves.
Yeah.
And it's left the coat looking a bit funny or discoloured, and they're not penalised because they're actually doing their job. They're not
scars
there
on their
pretty.
faces and that kind of
that's
thing.
good.
So yeah,
that sounds good. Good terrier choices. Yeah.
It's a tough one though. Love all the terriers.
So do I. I have to. Yeah, I'm a big terrier fan.
Yeah, I saw a Skye Terrier recently, and I don't think I'd seen one before.
Oh, I've not seen one for a long time. I like them with the big ears.
Big ears, yeah.
Big ears, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Long in the body as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. Hound next.
Oh, I love a hound as well.
Know.
Well, I thought about. I used to have a Basset hound, so I thought I can't choose Basset again.
Well, I think it's worth saying. So you get like sight hounds and scent hounds, and they're both like very different.
They're very different. Yes.
So the scent hounds, they tend to have like the kind of baggier faces and the long ears and everything to kind of let them
scoop up the
their noses down at the ground all the time. And your sight hounds, they are looking out for things, so they tend to be more upright and
eyes
more
at the front.
Yeah, more alert, looking out at everything. So what have you gone with, a sight hound or a scent hound?
I've done a scent hound.
Right. Fine, because I've gone a sight hound. So that's
quite good. Yeah. I've quite good. So I have gone with an otter hound.
An otter hound?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're massive and hairy.
Yeah.
They're wire-haired.
Yeah.
They look like a big shaggy crossbreed. Like, I think if you saw one walking down the street, which you never will, because they're on the what's called the endangered list.
The vulnerable breeds list.
That's it. That's it. Where there's not very many bred.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why. I think keeping them as a pet is problematic, but or in today's society, they're not really ticking the boxes of what you want.
Yeah.
Because the boys can get up to like 50 kilos.
Wow.
Aye. So they're tall, very shaggy. So their coat wire-haired, a bit like, if you think like deerhoundy, but longer. They do have longish ears, very big, sort of longish nose, but very square.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look it up because I can't place an otter hound. I can't.
They're like, the colours they come in, so some are...
Wait, were they used for hunting otters, though? Is that why they're called the otter hound?
Yeah, so they'll go in water, so their coat's waterproof.
Right.
Pretty sure they've got webbed feet. It might be wrong. I might have stopped reading up on things at this point.
Yeah.
But they are very...
take everything we say with a pinch of salt.
I know, this is not a Choose Your Breed podcast.
Science.
No,
it's
this
not
is...
science-based. They may or may not have webbed feet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this was really just chit-chat between us. This is not a proper educational episode, people. Don't go, we're going to choose breeds based off of what Becky and Deb said would be good. No, bear in mind, we like quirky things as well. But they go in the water. The coat's waterproof and everything, which kind of means, yes, that when they say it's waterproof, it's going to hold the water, basically, and it's going to take them ages to dry. So one of the downsides of them is they do smell.
Oh.
Yeah, they're quite smelly. They're very interested in scent, so you're not going anywhere fast.
Yeah.
Recall could be quite questionable.
You've lost me at the smell. You've lost me.
Yeah. I have
it's okay though, because I have a cleaner, because I've won the lotto.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd be fine.
You'd
be fine.
Yeah.
But their character is described as cheerful. That was the word that was used.
Yeah.
A comedian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, supposed to be good family pets.
I don't know, though, having a dog that size, that's a comedian, that might be...
That'd be hilarious, I think. I just think that would be so funny. And, but I have never ever met one.
Right.
So I've no idea if this is just Google saying it and breed standards saying it, and the breed itself has diverged and it's nowhere near like that.
Fine. So next year, Crufts, you have to go to Discover Dogs.
Oh yes, that's a good point.
Where they have representatives of every breed.
Yes, they do.
At Discover Dogs.
And I can ask them.
And people there who actually own the breed as well.
Yes.
And have volunteered to be there.
Do you know, I did that. So, because this is a good point for anyone listening that does fancy going to Crufts or whatever. Discover Dogs is good for getting actual information on the breed.
Yeah.
And because for a while, I had a burning question about boxers. I hadn't appreciated what a boxer was bred for.
Right. What is a boxer bred for? Sorry, I just need to get comfy.
That's all right. So interestingly, just a very short tangent. Interestingly, originally they were bred for baiting meat.
Oh.
So it was back in the days when we used to think if the meat was, they say, I'm just going to use the word traumatised. So the poor, like, livestock, the boxers would jump up and down at and try and grab. So the animal would start getting a bit like, oh my God.
Yeah.
People thought that if the meat had quite a lot of adrenaline and had basically been terrorised, it tasted better. That was our way of thinking back then. Just prior to them being dispatched. But as time moved on and people learned, actually it didn't affect the taste of the meat one way or the other, and it's a bit of a shame for the poor animal.
Yeah.
The boxers then moved on and became search and rescue dogs. Kind of wartime, and that was where the whole white boxer was frowned upon. Because for a while, white boxers, if there was a pure white boxer in the litter, it was lights out for that one.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, people are shallow.
Yeah.
It was classed as an undesirable coat colour, but it had a function back then because they were used in the war when there was blackouts.
Yeah, it'd be easier to see.
Absolutely, a white dog's like a big giant torch.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the Westie came about, really. Because people they kept shooting their cairns in the Scottish Mist.
Oh, they wouldn't see them,
and so they bred a white dog.
Do you know, I never even knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, every day's a school day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I discovered dogs. That might tell me what the otter hound's all about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically a boxer. This is why boxers are a bit mental and they jump around everywhere and they're just like whoa, because it'll stem from they were baiting dogs originally, and then. Which I think, so for anyone out there listening that's got a boxer, you probably think, I don't know if I'd rely on that trying to find me. I do find it funny that they transitioned to search and rescue. I'm not entirely sure.
Desperate times though, Second World War, desperate times.
Well, this is it, but I just don't know if I would entrust them with that level of task.
Right, here's my in.
Right.
What
got
are we on?
sight hound.
Hound, yeah. So I've went Irish Wolfhound.
Oh, nice. We've gone similar colour.
Yeah.
And similar coat type.
Yeah. So one of the biggest breeds.
Yes. Very tall.
Yeah, coming in at about 55 kgs.
Yeah.
Bigger than the Scottish Deerhound.
Yes.
And they come in like any colour that the Deerhound comes in. So, grey, black, brindle.
Yep.
All the colours. They have a rough, wiry coat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring to my notes because this is important.
Okay.
Their ancestry can be traced back to Roman times.
Oh.
There's writings from 16th century about large dogs in Ireland hunting wolves, but they were almost extinct in the 1800s. And so they established a breeding programme and breed standards to bring back the Irish Wolfhound. But they should be big enough and strong enough to bring down a wolf.
Well, this is the thing, and I was about to say that. They probably started dropping off because wolves...
Yeah. Hunted them all.
Aye. But also, I think these things should be considerations when we get said breeds.
Yeah. Well, the description of the Irish Wolfhound. So in 1902, they became the mascot for the Irish Guards.
All right, okay.
The infantry army regiment, whatever it is. So you see them at Troop in the colour and stuff. There's always one there, and it's got the coat on. Like they dress it up like the soldiers.
I've never watched it.
Right.
If I'm honest with you.
Well, there's one there.
I sound like such a heathen.
And Catherine, the Princess of Wales, she's the whatever for the Irish Guards.
Oh, okay, right.
And so she goes to meet them when they're trooping the colour, and she always says hello to the dog.
Ah.
But anyway, yeah. So they are quirky.
Mm-hmm.
But introverted and reserved.
I think that's accurate.
And they have an ancient motto, which is gentle when stroked, fierce when provoked.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's I think all the breeds should have a motto.
Aye, I think they should.
Yeah.
What would your motto be, Blue?
Oh, I don't know. Come back to that.
Aye. Well, think of your motto, son.
They don't live very long, though, because
they're
are
too
big.
Yeah.
So average lifespan is 9.
Yeah, that's longer than I thought.
Yeah.
That is longer than I thought.
But the average lifespan for all dogs is 12.7.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 for an
actually
Irish
better than I thought that was going to be.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
And also, as a side note, for any Harry Potter fans that might be listening,
that's not me, people. That's not me. I don't know anything about Harry Potter.
I got Irish Wolfhound as my Patronus on Pottermore. Wow.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Fine, that's fine. You don't have to know what it means.
People are going to be shouting. I'm coming across as really uneducated in this episode.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to know what it means.
I might look it up. You can explain to me later.
I'll explain to you later.
Yeah.
Right, let's do Mr. Blue toy breed.
Toy breeds! So,
She better have chose Chihuahua Blue.
Sorry. Did you... Would you like to go with your choice first?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, obviously I have a Chihuahua, so this is fantasy. I've not gone Chihuahua.
Plus, you'll probably never have one again after him. You've ruined it, Blue.
Bless. So I have gone the English Toy Terrier Black and Tan. That is their full, official name.
That's a long name.
Yes. Yeah.
Why do they have to put... I don't think they come in any other colour, though.
No, they don't. They only come in the black.
Or are they doubling down on it's only Black and Tan?
No, so there was a terrier called the Black and Tan Terrier, and then the English Toy Terrier was developed out of that, and also so was the Manchester Terrier, I think, which is a slightly bigger version, similar, but is in the terrier group. But the English Toy Terrier, Black and Tan, is in the toy.
Oh, right, okay.
Group.
Right, this is all making more sense. Yep.
Yeah. So the movement should look like the extended trot of a horse.
They do.
That was
when I watched them walking,
Yeah. So their origins are
tiny.
They're tiny, and they were bred for a Victorian sport called the rat pit. And basically they would put two small dogs into an arena
for
a set amount of time, and the one that dispatched the most rats was the winner.
Excellent.
And it was like a competitive thing that people would gamble on and that kind of thing. So again, I'm referring to my notes, because in 1848, a black and tan terrier, which is what the English toy was developed from, named Tiny the Wonder.
Just the Wonder,
Yeah,
not
just
the Wonder Boy,
no, Tiny
not the Wonder Dog.
Tiny the Wonder. He killed 200 rats in less than an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being funny, some of those rats would have been the same size
as him. I know. And they actually thought that the smaller the dog, the better, because they could really get in there, like, with the rats. And so Tiny was only like 2.4 kgs, like he was like really, really small. But yeah, so like some of the other breeds we've chose, they're on the vulnerable breeds list as well. The Irish Wolfhound is as well. I think they average about 100 pups a year for the English Toy Terrier, which is not many.
My brain's still fixating on the fact that something so wee has managed to dispatch something essentially the same size as it. Which, in a way, makes them ridiculously powerful.
So the average,
for the size that they are.
The average between 2.7 and 3.6 kgs.
Yeah, tiny.
Tiny. I mean, he's like 3.8 kgs, so smaller than him.
No messing, no.
No messing. And that's the thing, it's a terrier in a toy dog body. And so that's why I chose it, because it's like best of both.
Yeah, that was good thinking.
Best
Black and tan's like my favourite colours as
well. Love a tan butt. Love it. Love a tan butt. Rotty, Doberman.
Yep.
It's the ginger thing again.
It is.
Love a wee ginger butt.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Have we done your toy one yet?
No.
Right, what's your toy one?
Well, like you, I was kind of thinking, I could choose this one, but actually I kind of have one. So my first love in the toy would probably be a pug.
Right.
Just because, as much as, with all their health issues, I'm not condoning that side of things. But as personalities go, absolutely hysterical. But I've got George, he's half a pug.
Mm-hmm.
And they just make me laugh all day long. So we can't go for that. I'm not going to go for them because it's fantasy. So when I was down at Crufts, I'm going to tell you my choice. When I was down at Crufts, with my friend who was showing this particular toy breed, and I've proper fell in love with them. And it's the Louchen.
The Louchen.
Which is the little lion dog.
Yeah.
So a bit like the Manchester one, they have Louchen, in brackets, little lion dog.
Right.
And
where are they from? Are they from China?
Possible. I don't know. I don't research things as much as you do. Okay. They're in that realm.
Right.
They were
somewhere on that side of the map.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because I haven't studied
We know it's not
anything.
Tibet, because all the Tibetan ones have got Tibetan in their name.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, these guys, they were companion dogs and they were kind of hot water bottles.
Right.
So when you see them in a show cut, I think this is possibly why they're not as popular.
Yeah.
Because they are a small dog. They're only, again, I have no sorry people. They're like little, I reckon 10 kilos or under, as we're talking that kind of wee.
Yeah.
Long haired, but from about the middle of the back to their butt, they're completely shaved to the wood.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's all long, so hence like their mane, lion mane.
Yeah.
But by making them naked at the back, they're magic little hand warmers. So when they would sit on the rich people's laps, you'd put your hands there on the naked part of the dog's body and you'd be nice and warm.
Yeah. So I did look online after you had said that you were going with this Louchen.
Yeah, I love them.
And I was looking to see, why are they clipped like that and all of that kind of thing. Because, and they keep the little Ugg boots at the back and
they do.
On the tail and stuff, and it looks really cute. And what the internet said, and the internet might not be right, is that the shaved part was so that when the dog was next to the human skin, you'd get the maximum of the heat.
That's right.
But the furry part would attract all of like the lice.
That's right.
Off of
the
bed
bugs and that. Yes, exactly. I mean, we're talking amazing times back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, there's a reason women walked around with like posies, and it was for this because everybody smelled.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, the ring a rosies. Well, I think that's to do with like the plague.
Yeah,
or something.
the dying.
But yeah.
Oh, I
and
didn't
the
realise
women
that.
carried the
Just
the
to,
flowers.
yeah, just to stop the
Because everybody
stench.
smelled.
Yeah. I know, hygiene wasn't a thing back then.
I know.
Yeah. Oh. Well, these little guys, so the reason that I've put these on the list is
Yeah, what they like.
Chatting
What's their
to-
personality like?
they are absolutely delightful. I'm going to use that word with this dog because it's genuinely,
Yeah.
all of the ones I've met,
I mean, they're just bred to be a companion, really. So,
but I think, so they're on the vulnerable breeds list.
Right.
But I honestly don't understand why they are not given more kudos for being a today's society ideal pet dog.
yeah.
Because the ones I've come across,
'Cause you don't have to clip them like that either.
no, you
can
don't.
Just...
See, the ones that, because there's some that do agility. I was talking to breeders. Fun enough, it was at Discover Dog, so we're having a good chin wag. They get like almost like a teddy bear's trim if you're not like showing them.
Yeah.
Honestly, cute as a button. I mean, you shouldn't really choose a dog on looks, but that's your initial.
Teddy bear trim's not a thing.
Yeah, sorry, that was a really bad term. I'm going to hear about this later. It's the one all over. It's one length all over. Is what I would say. Like there's one length all over, and they're very smart. They are good with people.
Yeah.
They seem to be
Is he
good with
getting
other
ready
dogs.
to yell at someone?
I don't know. Are you getting ready to yell, Blue?
No.
Is it because we've not picked you? Is that what you're upset about? But
Sorry,
the
good
ones
with other dogs.
the good with other dogs, they're very smart,
Right.
like super smart, enjoy being trained, pick things up quickly. But yeah, they're just genuinely little bundles of joy.
Yeah.
Honestly, and yeah, absolutely, I would have. I think there's some health concerns with them. You'd have to choose your breeder wisely. There's not many breeders, but
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, I would go for the Liu Chen, the little lion dog.
Nice.
Huh? What other categories have we got left?
We've got utility.
Utility is a funny one because that's
It's just everything else.
It is. It's like we don't really know what your function is.
Yeah.
You don't quite fall into the other categories.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're like the mismatch category.
Yeah.
Utility is just a very umbrella term.
Yeah, just bred for things that don't fit into the other categories, basically.
Yeah. You're just slightly unique, so you're just going to be hodgepodge.
Yeah, yeah. So the one I've chosen is a dog I've had before, but I'm not likely to have again because they don't come up in rescue very often. And as I've said on previous podcasts, I wouldn't get a puppy.
Yeah, you wouldn't like a puppy.
So, and the one I had came through rescue. She was 7 when I got her. But the one I have chosen is the Tibetan Spaniel, which is not a Spaniel because, you know, I don't have the time or energy for a Spaniel.
No.
But European visitors to Tibet said, oh, it looks like a bit like a Spaniel. And so that's how it got the name Tibetan Spaniel. They come in all colours or multicoloured. I like the kind of beigey gingery one, obviously.
Funnily enough.
They're a social breed. They were bred to be companions for the monks in Tibet. They're also described as emotional, protective, independent, and your favourite, stubborn.
Excellent, yes.
Yeah.
That sounds a barrel of laughs, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So they would lie on the perimeter walls of the monasteries, and they have really good eyesight and really good hearing. They would alert the Tibetan Mastiff sleeping below to any potential danger.
Yeah.
So alert barking is something that they do. They're
noisy.
Probably quite a vocal breed to have in the house. They were given as gifts from Tibet to other countries.
Nice.
Until the early 1900s, they were still giving them out to people as gifts.
Here, have this barky alert dog.
Yeah.
That won't do a thing you ask.
Exactly.
And I'll have emotional outbursts.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. But you know what? They look
They're
so cute. They're super cute. They've got a soft little face, nice little, you know.
They do actually.
Ears, a big tail.
Yeah, they do, and they have like little sort of like drop ears, don't they?
Yeah, little drop
and
ears.
And the wee hair comes
Yeah.
off the side.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very pretty.
And feet like slippers as well.
Yeah.
Like Grinch feet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But as a groomer, would you not feel the need to neaten that up, or would you leave them Grinch feet?
I would just leave it Grinchy.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if
always
it's a
left-
breed standard.
Yeah, I always left cousin Leo's Grinchy.
No, he did actually, aye. Yeah.
Obviously trim the underneath of the pads
Uh-huh.
because, you know, I'm obsessed with feet and I'd never have a dog that had hairy feet because it does affect how they walk and, their grip on floors and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, their ancestors are the Japanese chin and the peak, the Pekingese.
I was going to say, that doesn't surprise me because they're very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another nice wee small breed.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Wow. So essentially a companion, but also a watchdog.
Nice. Mm-hmm. You'll never be snuck up on again.
No.
Because your wee spaniel will be like, hey!
Yeah. I mean,
you're
Blue's doing that job pretty well.
He is actually, he's doing that fine.
Yeah.
Well, I've gone the opposite end. I've gone big again.
Have you?
I have got, and short-haired.
Right.
I have gone for one of my biggest loves.
Oh,
a Dalmatian.
Yeah, Dalmatian.
Dalmatian. Yeah. And it is a gamble with the Dalmatians. Because if you get one that's barely on it, they're lovely.
Yeah.
If you get one that has their head in the clouds, oh my God, they can be a bit of a nightmare. And so the reason so their job was to run alongside royal carriages, but also to protect from highwaymen. So still sticking with active breeds for me. I like that. So I've like a dog that'll kind of get a good bit of get up and go. But they're quite happy to have a rammy. If the need arises, if somebody's coming to do you harm, they'll be like, hey, you know, that'll kick in. But I used to walk two, and sadly both are no longer with us actually, but the love of my life was one of them. He was amazing. And if I could get one like him, I would be so happy.
Yeah.
The only drawback is they shed. I have never met a dog that sheds so much my entire life as a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
For being short-haired, that you'll find the hair for years to come, even after they've gone. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think what makes them difficult is people go on about, oh, Dalmatians are so stupid. I don't think they're stupid. On all the ones that I've like come to classes and I've worked with, and I think it's a information retention problem.
Right.
They don't retain information. So they pick things up and they're learning and they're magic, but then you come back the next day to pick up from where you left off, poof, they don't know what you're talking about. It's like you've never done it before. So it can take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Training them. But yes, I absolutely love a Dalmatian. I'd have one in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Not even in fantasy land.
Yeah.
I would have one in real life.
Yeah. I do love 101 Dalmatians. It's one of my favourite movies.
Never seen it.
And Cruella as well.
Yeah, you do. You've got tattoos, Cruella.
I've got a tattoo of Cruella. Yeah. I would love Dalmatian, turn it into a coat. No, I'm kidding.
Well, actually, the amount that they shed, you could just collect it and then it could become a coat. You don't have to snuff them out for it.
Yeah,
yeah, so that's my choice.
You know, though, in the book 101 Dalmatians, Cruella actually had like a redemption arc, and she changed her factory from making fur coats to making like rain max. Yeah. It doesn't happen in the movie.
It doesn't, because that wouldn't make a good movie, would it?
No, she's evil to the end in the
movie.
movie.
Maybe it's something in the books. That's mad, eh?
Yeah.
I've never read the books nor watched the film. Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea. I'm so sorry. I'm doing rubbish here. I didn't get your Harry Potter thing.
You never get my Harry Potter
I never
thing.
get your Harry Potter things. I'm so sorry. They're
Muggles.
lost on me.
Muggles.
I know what a muggle is.
Right.
That's a me.
Right, let's
on the last one now.
No, we've got two more to do.
Two more to do?
Yeah, so we've got working to do and then pastoral.
Oh, okay.
So let's quickly do working.
Yep.
So in other kennel clubs...
It's so funny. You can tell the groups that now we're not as interested in.
Yeah. Yeah. So in other...
I don't know. I enjoy...
Saving pastoral to last because that's your favourite.
Yeah, aye.
Yeah.
Those two, actually, I tell a lie, pastoral and working, I had to think long and hard about those two groups. Yeah, I take all that back. Sorry, carry on.
Fine, so what have you gone with then? Or shall I go?
I'm working.
I'm working.
I have went for my German Rottweiler.
Nice.
I love a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
And I know technically Bubba's half Rottweiler, and I said I wouldn't choose.
Yeah.
But do you know what? That boy is so much Doberman like. I fear there's only like 1% Rottweiler in him. He doesn't look like one, and he doesn't really act like one. So
yeah. So again, we've gone for a wee ginger butt. Love that.
I know, wee ginger butt.
Love that.
I personally prefer the more European lines where they're like square. They're shorter, squarer, musclier.
Yeah.
They're very loyal. They are actually clever, but the problem is they're too clever because...
Don't think about it, Blue. Don't think about it. He was thinking about it.
Blue, are you thinking about it? He's like, I was thinking about it and I was doing it. Blue, Blue. Oh, he's a good boy.
Good boy.
Yeah, we don't need to shout. But yes, so with the Rottweiler, they're clever enough to go... Like, I've done it a couple of times, I know it now inside out, and so sometimes it can be hard from a training perspective that way, but they normally enjoy learning. Super family, like, their people are their people.
Yeah.
They're so in with their family. They are supposed to be suspicious of strangers because they are guard dogs.
Yeah.
You know, they're not supposed to be like my Bubba, who's like, "Hi everybody, I just want to come in." Like that.
He's suspicious of no one.
He is suspicious of nobody. He's I was going to say pathetic. He's not pathetic,
No,
but he's a
not.
bit...
I love him.
He's magic, but he's a bit of a letdown considering his breed. He's not... He didn't get the memo.
I know. All the garden breeds and he guards fuck all.
Exactly. Guards are nothing. But no, I absolutely... And I love their, like, big smooshy faces.
Yeah, they've got big faces.
And it looks like they're smiling, and they've got their big heads, and they are calculating because they were... So we're saying that they're guarders, but they're also herders. They've had quite a varied career over the years. They were herders, and they were butchers' dogs, so they would protect the meat carts.
Right.
Back in the day as well. So they've actually they literally can turn their hand to just about anything. And I think that's why I love a Rottie. I would be over the moon if I ended up with a Rottie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be so happy. So happy.
Cool.
So, yeah, I just need to win the lottery and then have all these fantasy breeds.
Totally.
And stuff.
Well, I've gone for one that might kill me.
Uh-huh.
The Tibetan Mastiff to match my Tibetan Spaniel.
It might. They can be, you just got to do your homework on them.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're described as intelligent and stubborn.
Yes, they are.
Strong-willed. Powerful bodied, and I think that's the issue. It's the sheer size of them.
Sheer size of them. They're colossal.
So they're, they think that all the Mastiffs were kind of originated from the Tibetan Mastiff. It's one of the most ancient breeds, and they were bred to protect the home and the livestock.
So those ones are technically more like a livestock guardian type.
Yes.
Which kind of catches people on the hop. So, and of course, interestingly, the Tibetan Mastiff got reserved this year at Crufts. Very beautiful looking dog.
Yeah. It was really nice. And that's the colourway I like as well. The
you
black
do,
and tan.
you like the black and tan,
like the black and tan. So in the 1800s, there was one in London Zoo that had been given to the king, and he put it in, in London Zoo.
Oh, for God's sake.
And then, again, I'm going to refer to my notes, but in 1950, when China invaded Tibet, all the dogs were slaughtered. All the dogs in Tibet were slaughtered.
Why?
And there, I don't know.
Because they invaded?
Yeah, some Chinese policy about killing all the dogs. I don't know.
Harsh.
Yeah, and then there was only like a few left, like in remote areas, which survived, and they went on to form like the modern breed that we know today.
Oh.
Yeah, so they can be up to 70 kgs. So
wow.
It's a big dog.
They are a big dog. I have met them in real life.
What I thought was really interesting as well, another interesting factoid, so I'm feeding cheese to the dog, is that, and I think it's true of the Tibetan Spaniel as well, but I can't remember, but they only have one season a year in the autumn.
Well, supposedly, sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but yes, you're right. They're quite primitive of a breed that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that. Oh, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have pegged you as picking that.
Yeah.
As your working variety.
Well, the thing is, I mean, looks wise, they're just like a big Tibetan Spaniel, like looks wise.
Well, actually, yeah, kind of.
So I just have like the matching set. You know, they've got the same tail carried over the body.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
The soft ears, the soft face.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. So I'd have that in the black and tan, and then my wee ginger Tibetan Spaniel, and I'd have the set.
Nice. And what would complete your set from the pastoral? Pastoral.
Well, this is probably an obvious choice. If you know me, I've went Welsh Corgi. Now, I think
Actually, I would have been disappointed had you not chosen Corgi.
You know, there was a few breeds, though, that I could have gone in pastoral, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like smooth collie. I love a smooth collie.
I don't find it. Do you know what? I don't normally really choose breeds based on looks. But I just don't vibe with them.
Right.
Even their personality can't win me over.
Right.
I don't know why.
Well, anyway, there was a few
I would have chosen. Smooth collie people.
There was a few I would have chosen, but I've went the cardigan because I think I will probably own a Pembroke at some point.
I think you will.
So I went cardigan. Again, on the vulnerable breeds list.
Yes.
They're the older of the two corgis. So here's an interesting thing I saw. So from the Celtic, cor means dwarf and gay is from dog. Corgi, dwarf dog.
Oh, right. Very good.
Yeah. So
I like how you actually research stuff.
That's my interesting facts right there.
Yeah, I've basically chosen things based on have I met them before?
Yeah.
Does their personality, do I like their personality?
Yeah.
And then that's where my research has ended.
Right, wait, I've got one more factoid for you. They were once known as a yard dog.
Oh.
Because the measurement from nose to tail was a Welsh yard, which is 102 centimetres in modern measurements.
Oh, I was taking that a bit too, like, location literal there. I thought they meant they lived in a yard.
No, they measured a yard from nose to tail. They were bred for driving livestock by day and guarding the livestock by night.
That's why they bite you, corgis. They're quite bitey. People don't know that, but they are.
Yeah.
Take your ankles off.
Definitely an ankle biter.
Because they heard you, they're like, move, you men.
Yeah, and they should be undocked as well. I mean, obviously it's illegal to dock in this country, but they should be undocked. And then the other thing I like about the cardigan, the Welsh Corgi cardigan in brackets, is that their markings include smutty muzzle. That's like a kennel club.
That's
marking.
quite funny.
Yeah.
What the hell's a smutty muzzle?
I don't know.
I don't know,
but I love it for them.
Funny. Yeah.
I love it for them.
I get a smutty muzzle.
A smutty muzzle is one of the markings that they could have. I guess it's just going to be like blotches on the...
Must be.
Blotches of colour on a white background.
I like it though.
Yeah, smutty muzzle.
Yeah. My dog has a smutty muzzle.
Yeah.
Well, I have gone for the Hungarian Pumi.
Oh,
because they are.
That's not even a real dog. Like
I know. So they're a smallish dog. They're not. They're only maybe about 14, 15 inches.
Right.
And they are.
You're not telling me it's not a soft toy though. They look like a soft toy.
They do look like a soft toy. So they are like a kind of curly coat. But the thing is, their ears stick out at the side.
Cartoon.
It honestly is. It is like a wee cartoon dog, and they. So it's one of the few dogs that actually the looks is what has drawn me first.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing more and more at agility. And I'm like, wow, you're clever and you're fast and they seem to enjoy the sport.
It's interesting that you're seeing them because when I first saw one, was at the Scottish Kennel Club show. And there was only 3 of them showing.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not many. I mean, they're not...
Quite a new breed here, I think.
They are, and I think one of their drawbacks, though, that upon talking to people, and I have kind of worked with a couple, they are quite nervous of people.
Right.
They're quite a nervous dog. They're quite vocal.
Yeah, what were they bred for?
I didn't look that up.
Right.
I didn't look that up. I'm leaving myself open to looking pretty ignorant.
Some kind of Herden or...
I can't remember. I'm trying to look at my notes. I didn't even write anything.
That's okay.
No, I didn't.
It's okay, we'll leave it to our imagination.
Yeah, they're just, for me, they're little agility
Super
dogs.
cute, yeah.
Super cute. Super cute.
Yeah.
And I really like them.
And if people are using them in agility, then they've obviously got drive to work.
They do, yeah, they're active little dogs.
Yeah.
And stuff.
And so people might come a cropper there then, because they might be thinking, oh, I've got this cute little dog.
Yeah.
But actually it is some kind of herding.
Aye. It's
breed.
quite, yeah. And I think that's the blessing and the curse with them. I think when they're a bit wary of people, because they are so cute looking, people will come up, and then that's when you get more problems with the barking. And so sometimes, so that's why with, winning the lottery and living in the middle of nowhere, my Pumi would be okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
And agility people are really good at respecting dog spaces, so I wouldn't have to worry about going to shows. But yeah, so that would be my list of fantasy dogs. Your list is quite good.
My list is brilliant.
Yeah? I think we've done well.
I think so.
Yeah.
Narrowing it down was tricky, but
it was a bit. There was some of them that, I mean, the terrier one for me, I was just like, oh, I could have that, I could have this,
could have had any of them.
It was yeah, there was a lot. But no, I love Crufts. Actually, I tell you, I have mixed feelings about, but I love the celebration of dogs.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I hope those of you that have listened right to the end, well done.
I know, that was a long one. It wasn't meant to be so long.
No, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it would be interesting to know what your fantasy list would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Of dogs. Maybe you could research things better than I do. I don't. You can just tell that's how I go through life, eh? Just like a half-ass.
You're always like, oh, I read this thing, and I'm like, did you actually though, or did you just read the headline, or did you just see a TikTok about it?
Aye,
a TikTok from somebody who read it.
I'll be honest. See, if it's something that really, really catches my attention, I will go into hyper focus, and I will research the life out of it and know every inch of it. But a lot of time, I think, because on this particular topic, I have interacted with these breeds of dogs before, so I've got an idea. But yeah, so that's our fantasy dog list.
Excellent.
That was good.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, nice to be back. Yeah. We will see you next time.
See you next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye for now.